With one suspect already charged in the Oklahoma City bombing, the search is on for an accomplice. And bad weather slows the search for victims in the federal building's rubble. This is the CBS Evening News. And this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. With every passing hour now, hope is fading that anyone else will be found alive in the bombed-out federal building in Oklahoma City. And what would have been a hard day for the families of the missing was made even worse today when rescue workers had to call off the search of the rubble for a while because of very bad weather. As for the investigation, Timothy McVeigh, the man charged in the crime yesterday, remains in custody. The two Nichols brothers, questioned yesterday, are being held as material witnesses but have not been charged, and the FBI is looking for at least one more suspect. We're going to begin tonight with Scott Pelley in Oklahoma City.
Timothy McVeigh, a former soldier trained in demolition, is charged with committing the most deadly criminal act in the history of the United States. Now, with one suspect in jail, the FBI says another remains on the loose.
Another suspect, whom we have identified as John Doe number 2, remains unidentified and at large. We consider him to be armed and dangerous.
John Doe is the man in the second of two FBI composite drawings. The first was a dead ringer for McVeigh. The FBI believes John Doe and McVeigh rented the truck that carried the bomb. The FBI is also holding two brothers, Terry Nichols in Kansas and James Nichols, who was taken into custody after a raid on his farm in Michigan. The brothers, said to be associates of McVeigh, are called witnesses, not suspects. A federal affidavit released late today says Terry Nichols may be familiar with bomb construction techniques. The FBI is expected to move both men to Oklahoma City to appear before a grand jury. In Oklahoma, a federal complaint alleges that McVeigh harbors extreme anger at the federal government. It says McVeigh was especially upset over the Branch Davidian fire near Waco and that McVeigh visited the site of that fire and held the government responsible. The Oklahoma bombing came on the second anniversary of the Waco disaster. The FBI caught McVeigh so quickly because of sheer luck, but then very nearly lost him. McVeigh was pulled over by state police just north of Oklahoma City little more than an hour after the explosion because his car had no license plates. When a patrolman found a gun, McVeigh was booked on misdemeanor weapons charges, but no one realized who he was. McVeigh was held for 2 days and was minutes from a likely release on bond when FBI agents using a computer found that the most wanted man in America was already in jail.
We just happened, we just happened to get the call from the feds between 9:30 and 10 o'clock saying, hey, that's our guy and we're putting a hold on him, and we were within an hour of taking him to court for setting his bond.
Today, driving rain, wind, and lightning interrupted the search and rescue. Parts of the building are shifting and the work is increasingly dangerous.
We do still have movement of structural members in the building, and we're monitoring that on a minute-by-minute basis.
There have been no signs of life since Wednesday. The death toll climbs, now past 78, and likely to go well beyond 100. It is cold and windy in Oklahoma City today, and that is slowing down the rescue. Firefighters are just getting to the lower floors and to the basement, and it is now clear that it will be many days before we know just how many people were killed in the disaster. Tomorrow, Timothy McVeigh will observe his 27th birthday in isolation in a medium security prison here in Oklahoma. Bob?
Well, Scott, clearly the weather's a little better right now than it was when some of those pictures were taken earlier today. What effect is that having on the search and the people who are trying to do the search?
Bob, the work is backbreaking